Hey, it's Paul Anthony from Ink Different Tattoos and the Ink Different Tattoos podcast. And today we're at the Philadelphia convention, where we're going to introduce you to the people and personalities that make it happen. Welcome to the Convention Connection. Now we are backstage, I would call it, at the convention, right, with Dr. Blasphemy. Thank you for joining us.
Hey man, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No, absolutely. And so you've been doing the MC thing for quite a while.
About 24 years now, going on 25.
Right. Well, thank you for spending the time, because I know your voice.
Yeah.
But it's the first time we're really hanging out, you know?
I've had people say that, like, dude, we can walk into a convention and hear your voice and then know it's going to be a good show.
Yeah.
Or we're in a convention and we hear somebody talking, you're like, oh, that's not Blasphemy.
That's not Blasphemy, right? Yeah, exactly.
That's
so what
funny.
was your first MCing in conventions?
That would have been the very first DC show back in 2001. Shrimp from Eternal and Brian Everett, legendary tattoo artist from Route 66. They hired me out of 98 Rock. They advertised on 98 Rock in Baltimore, where I was working in radio at the time. And they asked me, hey, do you got a guy that can come out and do our show and kind of fit in? And they were like, we got this one guy. They sent me out. I had never done a tattoo festival before. I apprenticed when I was 16, turning 17 at Tattoo Charlie's in Maryland under Dennis Watkins. A year or two later, girlfriend got pregnant, became wife, and tattooing wasn't what it is today. So I had to get the real job.
And that put you in radio.
Put me in radio, and then 15 years later, it's back to full circle. I'm at my first convention. My mentor, Dennis Watkins, is there, and he's telling Jack Rudy and Lyle Tuttle how great of a dude I was. And
right. Well, you mentioned Jack Rudy. I mean, today is a very interesting day. Last night we all got the text messages.
He was one of the first friends I ever made. My very first tattoo convention, the DC show, I set up here on this wall, and right directly across from me was Jack Rudy, Lyle Tuttle, Marshall Bennett, Bob Tyrell, Tom Renshaw. We're in like 3 booths together. Dennis, my mentor, and introduced me to Jack and Lyle and was putting me over to them, and then Jack and I became fast friends. A lot of pictures I take with, the one middle finger sticking out. That's a Jack Rudy thing he taught me. We were talking about Bonanza one day, and they did that on a postcard, and it accidentally got sent out. I used to carry a quote from Jack in my wallet. If you can't dazzle them with brilliance, baffle them with bullshit. I don't know where it came from, but to me it's a Jack Rudy quote. It would have been 50 years of Jack tattooing next week, so this one hit pretty hard.
What are some of your favorite things about emceeing the conventions? What do you enjoy
the fact
most?
that I can step out of my real life. I don't have to be Carl Murray. I can be Dr. Blasphemy.
You are Dr. Blasphemy.
I did it in radio. My sister got hit by a car and was ready to die. And I left the hospital to go on the air, come back to the hospital. Nobody at the radio station even knew what happened. So there is a definite switch we can hit. That's probably one of the coolest parts of my job, is being able to get out of that real life. Best part about this job is the people I meet, people I interact with. Yeah.
And not normal would be a good way to frame the fact that you used to do undercover work?
Back in the day, before I got into radio, I worked as a private detective, and I worked strictly undercover. I was all industrial stuff. Basically go and find out who was stealing, who was doing drugs, and I looked like a criminal anyway. We're doing a big satellite dish, you let it go, it threw me into a pole and destroyed my shoulder.
Oh.
So I had to have all this replaced, and they were like, well, you can't do this work anymore. We'll train you for something else. And I'm like, I want to be in radio. Paid for a broadcasting school, and really that's how this started.
That's great. So then radio to tattooing, and now it's also motorcycle events, magazine events, wrestling. How has it expanded for
It's
the doctor?
expanded a great bit. First thing I did was ask Tramp and Brian for permission to go do other shows. They hired me on it, it's a respect thing. And they were so gracious. They were like, do any show you want, Carl. Don't miss ours. And then doing other shows, Troy and I got together and started working together and on Troy's shows, and now it's
just 32 of them.
Villain Arts thing. It's going to be like 34, 35 before. We still got a couple more cities to announce for this year.
Nice.
So I get to do this all the time. It's led me into Bill Tinney, the editor-in-chief for Tattoo Magazine, was a good friend of mine, and he got me the job with Easy Rider Magazine. So I became the voice of Easy Riders and Tattoo Magazine. And then I started working with Sons of Anarchy, helping them with promotions and autograph stuff. From there, concerts with Wu-Tang Clan and NWA and Drowning Pool.
What a fucking charmed life. Good for you.
It really was. I got to do some casting for Ink Master. I would cast their canvases or give them lists of artists and, who I thought would be good for the show and stuff.
So with all the cities, right, which ones have been surprising that you're like, oh gosh, I really like this city and I didn't know maybe you'd never been there before. With
My favorite show of the year probably is our first show of the year. Every year it's in Minneapolis.
Right.
I'd never been to Minneapolis before Troy Tipple took me to Minneapolis. That city surprised me with the attendance for that temperature and how cold it is there. For us to get 15, 16,000 people for a weekend there.
Yeah. How do you manage all the travel? I mean, it's so much traveling, right? So how do you make that work for you?
When my son was younger, he stayed with me.
Oh, okay.
And then he would go those miles when I was out of town. So I would make it a point to get him to school on Thursday morning, and I would fly out to my show Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I try to be home by the time he got out of school Monday. Now it's a little different. He's grown. I have a new wife. Now the thing is really communication. The only way to make it work while you're on the road as much as I am. As soon as I wake up in the morning, first thing I do is call my wife. Beautiful. Hey babe, I love you, good morning. And she'd already been up probably 5 hours at this point. A few times through the day, you call home, check in, be like, love you, I miss you. And I know what time my wife goes to bed every night. So every night at 9 o'clock, I'm like, hey babe, just wanted to say goodnight.
Wow.
That's really
amazing, unexpected relationship advice.
That's
right?
really the only way to get it to work out here and then have a good trusting wife and don't ruin that trust.
Well, if someone wants to get in touch with you and try to get on his calendar and hire him for some cool shit, how do they reach out?
Best way is through my email.
Okay.
drblasphemy@gmail.com. Follow me on Facebook at Dr. Blasphemy. Yeah,
dude, well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for taking the time. I really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, Dr. Blasphemy, real in the person, in real life, not just the voice, the real man right here.
It's the support from people like you that keep these shows growing and made it a family spectator sport. Without you guys, we would not continue to grow. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. See you next time. I hope you enjoyed that interview. If you did, please like, subscribe, share it, tell your friends about it. Watch the next interview right here.